Welcome to another episode of Stories with a Bast. Today, we're going to be looking at a twist on a classic fairy tale. So let's begin. Have you ever owned a goat? Or perhaps met a goat? You should if you haven't had the chance. They're quite something. They've got personality and charm, and they're rather brash at times. But let's begin. There were once a little boy and a little girl living in the forests of Germany. And this boy and this girl were named Hansel and Gretel. Now this boy and girl owned a baby goat. A kid, they're called. They took this kid everywhere with them on all their adventures. This kid was smart and clever and energetic, and it kept them safe and brought them back home many a dark night. Well, one day, Hansel and Gretel came across a beautiful big cabin made all of sugar and candy, and they had to check it out. It was all gingerbread and candy canes, and how could you say no to such a thing? But the goat, not enjoying sugar quite so much, was hesitant to go inside. It was not swayed by this alluring sweetness. So Hansel and Gretel, leaving it out on the porch, went inside on their own. Now, the cabin appeared to be empty at first, and so they, with quite a bit of joy and freedom, poked around and started eating the cabin bit by bit, got all stuffed and happy and sleepy, and then they curled up by a blazing fire that was somehow not melting the cabin away. And they slept for all that very day and night. And when they awoke, there was a witch standing over them, stirring her pot over that great fire. They looked up and they screamed, but she had already tied them up so they could not run away, and they were both stuck in that cabin with that witch. Well, that kid goat knew what was going on. It was a very clever goat, and it had been peering in through the window. It had also, in its boredom, eaten a hole in the wall, so it had a very good view of the situation. And eventually it got up on the roof and broke a hole through there, dropping a piece of candy cane and sugar-coated gingerbread right on the witch's head. The witch looked up and said, "Oh, there, what are you doing breaking my cabin?" The kid goat said, "Bah, you give up by Hansel and Gretel. We have to get home for dinner. We've already missed one day, and their parents will be worried." Well, that goat and that witch stared each other down for quite some time, and the kid jumped off the roof, and the witch came outside. Now, it had only been a moment, but the kid goat had already set up a game. It had set up a game, and it looked the witch in the eye, and it said, "If you win this game, you may keep the children and eat them whole. If I win this game, you may give them back, and I will burn down your cabin just for spite." Well, the witch thought about it, and being quite strange, it shook on it right away. So the kid goat pulled out 3 cups, slipped a ball underneath one of them, and started moving them around in random order, and was like, "If you can guess the correct cup that the ball is under once the cups stop, you may keep the children. And if you guess the incorrect cup, then I will take them home with me." So the witch watched the ball and was sure that she knew the right cup, and so she guessed, and she was wrong. And the kid goat, so clever and energetic, burned that witch's cabin to the ground and took Hansel and Gretel home with it. And all was well in the end, except for the witch, who died. I hope you've enjoyed this little alteration of a classic fairy tale, and have yourself a good day.